They've presented Washington with a single demand, and they say that if it isn't met, they'll launch a nuclear weapon.
If the Russians learn that America has secretly developed a new type of nuclear weapon, there is no telling how they might react. That liquid snake is a smart one. He knows the political climate. His actions were obviously very well calculated.
I've got the feeling there's some other force at work here.
It looks like they finished getting Metal Gear ready. They said they even input the PAL codes.
What should I do?
All we can do is use the override system that President Baker told you about.
But I've only got one of the 3 keys, and besides that, like Ocelot said, there's some trick to using the keys.
Leave it to me.
The chief and the president mysteriously dying, and that ninja? Too many strange things are happening. Are you saying that Naomi might be behind it?
A sad story.
Listen, we're not responsible for her choices. Everyone decides their own fate, no matter where they were born. Words like fate, karma, it's just an excuse for giving up if you ask me.
I don't agree with you. Maybe if she hadn't been born on a battlefield, she might have had a happier, more fulfilling life. She might not have turned into a killer.
As Snake plunges into the heart of the permafrost in search of Metal Gear Rex, Otacon works his way back to the computer lab. Maybe, Hal figures, he can hack into the Armstech president's restricted files. Finally, Snake learns how the PAL disarm system works.
The card key is made of a shape memory alloy.
Shape memory alloy?
Yes! It's a material that changes shape at different temperatures.
So this key is actually 3 keys in one. Clever.
All you have to do is a bit of back and forth from the control room in areas of extreme heat and freezing cold. Today, this backtracking sequence is perhaps the most dated-feeling single-game scenario in MGS1. In its attempt to conjure up nostalgia for the MSX-era Metal Gears, what's supposed to lend the game world an added sense of physical weight and realism instead feels like an exercise in padding to slow the narrative's momentum. Not to mention a cheap method of squeezing new uses out of same old surroundings. But in 1998, the effect of this sequence had a different impact. The entire game, the looming threat of Foxhound's nuclear strike capabilities, has remained the terrorists' one and only piece of leverage. By imposing the PAL card challenge, the game leads you to believe resolution is imminent while delaying that resolution and ramping up tension in the meantime. While MGS1's gameplay in this section may go into hibernation, its codec audio drama has never been more exciting.
Snake, it's about Naomi Hunter.
As you trek to and fro in the underground base, there are 3 rapidly unfolding story arcs and shock reveals taking place via codec. We'll call these arcs by the primary character of interest in each case. We have the Otacon arc, the Naomi arc, and the Miller arc. In the Otacon arc, a number of key revelations are exposed by Hal's hacking. The most crucial of these is the nature of Rex's ICBM, the experimental top-secret prototype designed by Rivermore Labs. The ICBM, as Hal feared, is launched from the railgun among Rex's armament. But what Hal only now learns is this design circumvents the need for fuel of any kind, and minimizes the nuke's signal and physiochemical footprints. In short, the ICBM cannot be detected if launched, unlike all other nukes in the world. It's also interception-proof via the warhead's advanced state-of-the-art anti-radar and signal warfare abilities. Mounted atop the all-terrain, well-fortified Metal Gear Rex, this nuke could be launched from any terrain on land, mountains, deserts, swamps, the lot. It's the ultimate expression of deterrence gone batshit insane, an undetectable, ever-ready, omnipresent nuclear threat. And to think the DoD and Armstech were planning to mass-produce Rex. Perhaps the warhead's masterminds thought the PAL failsafe security system gave their doomsday weapon zero risk. To be sure, the odds of something like the Shadow Moses incident taking place are, on paper, pretty low, But when it comes to weapons of mass destruction, unfortunately the risk of misuse, accidents, and full-blown disasters are never zero.
Detonation code activated.
No, why?
I guess I got into genetics because I wanted to figure out why I am the way I am.
So you studied about DNA?
Yeah. I thought if I studied my genetic structure, I'd find out who I really was. I thought that by analyzing a person's genetic information, I could retrieve the blank spots in that person's memory.
Memory is stored in DNA?
We're not sure, but we know that a person's genetic fate is determined just by the sequence of the 4 bases in their DNA.
So what about my fate? You know my DNA sequence, don't you?
Your fate? I'm sorry, I have no idea.
Of course not. You're a scientist, not a fortune teller.
The Naomi arc began 12 hours or so earlier aboard the Ohio-class nuclear submarine, the USS Discovery. It began with an event as important to the entire MGS series as it is understated and easy to miss. It began with that shot. What was in that shot? So far, Dr. Hunter, Colonel Campbell, and the rest of your support team have only mentioned good things about the state-of-the-art nanotechnology that it contained. But according to your mentor, Master Miller, the mysterious heart attack suffered by Decoy Octopus and President Baker may suggest malevolent forces and dark agendas at work in the shadows. What's more, Miller catches Naomi in an obvious lie about some relative in the FBI. She's clearly trying to obscure the truth of her background, cover up traces of her own past. Considering Miller's also heard word of a secret bioweapon cultivated by the DIA or Defense Intelligence Agency, which kills targets by simulating symptoms of coronary thrombosis, it's looking likely that Naomi might be the one behind those deaths. Unfortunately, as Miller explains, Naomi is probably either a spy or an out-and-out accomplice of the terrorists.
Snake, have you ever heard of something called fox dye?
No. Fox dye. Liquid and the others were talking about it.
Yeah. It's some kind of virus that targets specific people. Snake, try to remember. Did Naomi give you some kind of injection?
The nanomachines.
But only once Naomi contacts you on her own can any of this speculation be tested.
It's Naomi.
Who are you?
I don't know myself. I don't know my real name or even what my parents looked like. I bought all my identification. But my reason for getting into genetics was true.
'Cause you want to know yourself, right?
That's right. I want to know where I came from. My age, my race, anything.
Naomi.
I was found in Rhodesia sometime in the 80s. A dirty little orphan. I was alone for so long. Until I met my big brother. And him.
Your big brother?
Yes. Frank Yeager.
What?
He was a young soldier. When he picked me up near the Zambezi River, I was half dead from starvation, and he shared his rations with me. Yes. Frank Yeager. The man who you destroyed was my brother and my only family.
No. Gray Fox?
We survived that hell together, Frank and I. He protected me. He's my one connection. The only connection I have to my past.
And he brought you back to America?
No. I was in Mozambique when he came.
Who was he? You mean Big Boss?
Yes. He brought us to this land of freedom, this America. And then he and my brother went back to Africa to continue the war. And that's when it happened. You killed my benefactor and sent my brother home a cripple. I vowed revenge and joined Foxhound. I knew it was my best chance to meet you, and I prayed for the day that I would.
So, were your prayers answered?
Fox dye is a type of retrovirus that targets and kills only specific people. First, it infects the macrophages in the victim's body. Fox dye contains smart enzymes created through protein engineering. They're programmed to respond to specific genetic patterns in the cells.
Those enzymes recognize the target's DNA? Naomi,
What?
you must have programmed that thing to kill me too, right? Do I still have time? Naomi, I don't blame you for wanting me dead, but I can't go yet. I still have a job to do.
Listen, Snake. I'm not the one who made the decision to use Fox dye.
Huh? You weren't?
You were injected with Fox dye as a part of this operation.